Good morning, or afternoon, I should say, from the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley in Camarillo, California. I'm Reverend Pamella Geagan and delighted to be with you this morning.
Good Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley. I'm Reverend Lynn Chaplain Noe, and we have a wonderful morning for you. We have, of course, our spiritual leader, Pamella Geagan, and Reverend Betty Ann Brennan, who is our assistant minister. Kelly Bershinsky will be in the discussion today. Alberto Dalpino will be our music inspiration. Buzz Noe's here, of course, as usual, and Pamela Bailey is our practitioner of the day. We've got a full house, so welcome to our center. We believe that there is only one source and many paths leading to that source. We honor all faiths, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, Sufism, and all others that step forward in love. There is that one fine thread that connects all religions in the world, and that thread is love. We come from love, we are love, we honor our oneness within all of us. And our mission, our vision is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence. And how we do that is teaching and demonstrating spiritual principles for living an abundant and fulfilling life in a welcoming, compassionate community. And we have our flames of faith. Our flames of faith. We believe, once again, there is one source and many paths leading to that source. We honor all faiths, Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, Sufism, and all others that step forward in love. There is that one fine thread that connects all of us and all religions in the world, and that thread is love. We come from love, we are love, and we honor our oneness that is within us all. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Reverend Betty Ann Brennan with the quote for the day.
Hello, everybody. I don't see the quote up yet. There we go. These are the words for you to concentrate on for this week. I face my life circumstances without illusion. I trust in the ever-present heart and mind of God to guide me on my way. And to solidify our morning, I'd like to do an opening treatment. So please come with me and go within and just feel that rush of love and power and strength from our very source, knowing that we are all one and given miraculous ideas of expressing our uniqueness within our oneness. And so right here, right now, something wonderful is being prepared for each of us, just to grow and to reveal, to know the truth of the situation, that all is love. And with a great sense of gratitude, with a great sense of unity and the power of the universe, I turn these words over to create for each and every one an absolute perfect experience, and allowing life to unfold perfectly no matter what. And join me in saying our closing, and so it is. And I think, Pam, it's over to you.
Thank you so much, Betty Ann. And I have the honor of introducing that uplifting moment in an untethered world, which happens to be me this time. And what happened is last week I actually sent this to Spencer, but I was at Shaver Lake and there was a misconnection, I am absolutely sure, because he didn't get it. And so this is my vacation, my family vacation at Shaver Lake, just a quick uplifting moment in this COVID world, so to speak. Enjoy. I'll see you on the flip side. Hi, it's Rev Pam again, and I'm happy to introduce our announcer. Most announcements are boring, not with us. We have the entertainer himself. What's the buzz? Buzz Noe with our announcements for this week.
Thank you very much, Reverend Pam. And today is the first Sunday in September. Let's all make this a month to remember as we continue to be inspired by heaven above and allow our primary motivation to be love. Our center is here to give you the blessings you seek. So here are the announcements for this week. Daily meditations continue on Facebook Live at 9 a.m. with Reverend Pam inspiring us to thrive. Unification is the focus for this week. These meditations will provide the spiritual connection you seek. This pandemic is changing our lives every day, but let's continue to know that we'll all be okay. If you desire some assistance to help you get through, email or call us so we can be here for you. Until at some point it is safe to re-enter, please continue to donate to our center. Your donations will keep our center going so we can be here to keep your wellness growing. And here are two charities helping those in need. Your donations are very much appreciated indeed. The Ventura County Rescue Mission and the Ventura County Food Share. Please let them know that you also do care. So that's about all that we have to say as we wish you a safe and happy Labor Day. Thanks for hearing our announcement presentation. Now here's Alberto Del Pino with our musical inspiration.
Hi, everybody. For today, I just chose a piece from Ireland from the 17th century that is called Plangsty Irwin.
Oh, Alberto, it's good to have the soul of you back, just you back and that guitar. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And now it is, oh, thank you. And we'll see you on after the talk one more time,
Yes.
honey. Okay. And now it is truly my honor to introduce a wonderful friend and colleague, one of our brightest new ministerial stars, and literally a star. I don't want to set you up, but but it's Reverend Kelly Bershinsky. Welcome, Kelly.
Thanks, Reverend Pam. It's just always a pleasure to be here and get to participate with you and your center. I always love it.
Oh, well, we love you, and I am so grateful that I've gotten to know you the last few years on a much more intimate friend basis. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful having you. And so our talk today actually is called A Question of Faith. And one of the suggested ideas is, why would we be questioning faith? Is why is one person's prayer answered and yet others aren't? And so I just want to tell you the science of mind point of view about what faith is, and then we'll go from there. And according to Ernest Holmes, it is the substance which resides in the deepest part and purest part of our soul. And it is that which is unseen, and yet in that metaphysical sense, it is stronger than anything. And yet the manifestation of anything that we are experiencing in our lifetime is that manifestation of the faith, not always yet seen, but in the process, always revealing itself in and through and as us. So the thought of faith, absolutely, there is no undifferentiated substance. And when that faith comes through, it's with that clarity of our impeccable word, our thoughts, our creative visions, and then that impeccable word with clarity brought through into our lives. And it is the passion of our soul, I say, that always manifests, even beyond the word. And it is from love. It is the love and law working together. Love, the passion of the heart, law, and not undifferentiated, working together, the law that just says yes in that energetic substance that we are. And so you can take it from there, Kelly.
Well, you know, it's a great conversation, the one of faith. And what I think is that everybody is always exercising faith. It just depends on what are we exercising faith in. And in fact, the chapter in Science of Mind, a small chapter on faith, but it's wonderful reading and wonderful ideas in there about exactly that. If I am placing my faith in the knowledge that all is well, regardless of what it looks like right this minute, regardless of what the world looks like and all those things, that if I can place my faith, my knowledge in this idea that all is well, then I'm really exercising faith as we think of it. And yet, if I'm not, your question about why is one person's prayer answered and another's isn't, and I think it's one of how am I how am I spending that faith capital? What am I doing with that? And Ernest Holmes says that a person's prayer is answered, the prayer is answered when the one praying is convinced. And I think that's the deal about faith, is what am I convinced of?
And you know, it is, we are always co-creating with the one divine presence, which I call God. You can call it whatever you want, as we say, Baha'u'llah, Hotep, Amen, Amin, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, whatever it is, it's the thing itself. But that which we are not only in our, I think it starts with our creative, we are that creative co-creator with the thing itself. And when that vision is so high and so passionate, when you're really passionate about something that is, as I say, the greatest good is the outcome in its highest and best within you and for all, that's what outpictures in your life. And as you just said so eloquently, if your vision is lower than that and you are in fear and seeing all the bad or all the uncomfortability in your life, or that which you do not have, which you feel you are lacking, because you are lacking nothing. The law, God, whatever you want to call it, is absolutely there for you in every moment, but it just says yes to your thought. So I think your thoughts with clarity in your prayers are what create the thing itself in your life, that manifestation. It is waiting for you, as they say, you know, knock and the door is open, ask and it shall be given, and the love will come trickling down. But if you're asking for less than the highest and best, you'll be getting that too.
Yeah, one of the things that Ernest says in that chapter is that my faith in goodness has to be stronger in anything that looks like it opposes goodness. That regardless, you know, it's that may or may not be easy depending on where one is on this spiritual path, but can I look at everything going on around me and still know good, still believe in goodness, still understand that all is well, and that I have a choice right now. I have a choice about how I look at things, how I respond to things, how I exercise faith. And the only thing standing in between any of us and absolute perfection is how do I see this? How do I respond? And do I buy into negativity and fear and upset and turmoil? Or is my faith such that I stand right in it and know good right this moment in and around and in the midst of everything going on in the world in real time.
I agree. And when you have that rock of faith that you stand upon, you are always standing on holy ground. And it is waiting for you to open up to it, because that divine urge within us, I think if you're connected to the soul at its deepest level, in that purity, in that beginner's mind, the spiritual tool of asking yourself, what is this divine urge calling forth in me? And it is, when no matter where you stand, and especially in this world that seems like it is untethered, and there seems to be on the surface for many a lot of conflict, when you go within and say, what is it that you really want? Do you want divisive? Do you want to be supported by the love and of God within you? And you have to ask yourself, what is it that you want to feel in this outcome? Not only what is it going to look like? Is there that peace on earth with us all standing around doing kumbaya, or honoring each other right where we're at, embracing each other right where we're at, and seeing the highest and best in each belief system, in this oneness, in this aspect of the light of who we are reflected outward? Absolutely. In this, I say, in this weaving of that wonderful cloth that is strength of all the colors that we are, and every single cell in our being, and on this universe and all the universes, to outpicture in that greater picture, while honoring the wholeness of the oneness of who we are at our deepest part.
And so it is.
No.
What I'll say.
No.
You got an amen, Reverend Pam.
Can we hear an amen? An A woman, an A person.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to say anything about this? Or
Well, I have just a little story about faith, if that's fair game right now.
Yes, and then I'll tell one afterwards. Yeah, great.
Okay. So this just kind of really is an illustration to me of faith. And this involves someone you know. This involves my partner, Alfie. And at our center, we, much like you, we have what we call a taste of GTC. And you do your dining events most years, I think, where you organize, different people offer dinner events, and people bid on those as a fundraiser for your center. We do that as well. And we had that fundraiser a few years ago, and Alfie bid on and won a day of water skiing, where we go out on a boat with a couple members of our center and spend a day water skiing and being drug around the lake and all that sort of stuff. And a great time was had by all, but Alfie'd never water skied. And so we were out, and I hadn't skied since I was a kid, although I got up on skis and then did wakeboarding and that sort of thing. And Alfie tried 2 or 3 different times that day, and he'd get up and fall over and get up and fall over. And sort of toward the end of the afternoon, is becoming late afternoon, and he's in the water again and attempting to ski, and similar result, just fall over. And finally he started kind of paddling toward the boat and sort of throwing in the towel, I think, on this idea of water skiing that day. And I just said to him, you're welcome to continue if you want. You're not inconveniencing anybody. This is why we're here. He said, no, I'm done. I'm ready to get in the boat. And he got in the boat, sort of worn out with all of this process of trying to learn to ski. And just in the conversation, he then shared with us that he doesn't know how to swim. and so We've laughed about this a dozen times since, but he was willing to bid on and buy a day of water skiing because he wanted that experience without knowing how to swim. And he said to me, I know if anything happened that you would save me anyway. Now, the point of this story for me is that is faith. Not that he relied on me to save him, but that regardless of really knowing what he was doing or anything else, he's willing to jump in with both feet and try and give it effort just because he wants this experience. And that to me is life. That is how do we become good at anything without jumping in with both feet? That putting my toe in the waters never served me very well. But when I am willing to jump in and knowing what I'm doing or not, and relying on this idea, having the faith that there is something or someone there to support me anyway, regardless of my skill level, or regardless of what I currently know, that there is something that supports me. That to me is faith. And go right ahead.
That's a wonderful story. I was going to actually tell another story, but truth reveals itself in reality when you pray or write, as I say. And when you pray or write, to me, is that feeling nature. And Alfie truly knew in faith and conviction that he would be fine. And this was his perfect opportunity to enjoy, no matter what the outcome was. It is that journey that is so great, that reveals to you that what you need to do next, and next time he goes to the lake, I bet he learns how to swim. Did he have his life vest on? I assume, because you have.
Oh yeah, of course he had his life vest on.
But but still, that faith in knowing that what the experience was superior to looking clumsy or looking or not. I just think it was. Alfie is so full of life anyway. He's so wonderful and so accepting, but that he had that faith in the truth of reality, and the reality really was his wanting to experience this and be joyful with you and with this other people that were dragging you around the lake, as you say, to enjoy that. I was going to tell you something else. So my story really is that matches kind of this. When I worked in Hollywood ever since I was a kid. I mean, like at 16, on and off, went back to school, and I even became an exotic animal trainer through Edom. And what did I do? I ended up going on the sets with the exotic. I always ended up back in Hollywood. So I was working in Hollywood shortly after I got married, and I was traveling everywhere. But anyway, and we were renting with friends, and the friends bought a house, and literally we were renting right above us. And I had a lot of farm animals, and you just can't buy something with, goats and chickens and everything in any normal neighborhood. So I knew that I wanted a house where there was a land that I would be legally to have my goats and chickens and ducks and everything else. So I wanted this. I cut out pictures and put them in. This is when I was absolutely in all the classes and everything in Science of Mind in the beginning. And with that beginner's mind, that beginner's faith, that beginner's conviction. And we didn't really even have the money for a down payment in Camarillo for a house. And so I cut out what I wrote down, and what I cut out was a picture of a small house. And where we were living, where we were renting, we loved it because we could see everything. It was higher than we are now. We could see the valley and everything, but we didn't even really have, we shared a kitchen and a living room. Then we had our own living room, bedroom, and bathroom. And the bathroom didn't even have a shower in it. And so I cut out this ugly picture of a bathroom. It was pink, but it had a shower, bathtub combo. So small house, because that's my thinking. I limited my own self with this ugly bathroom in it that had land for the animals. Well, sure enough, not shortly after that, my dad out of the clear blue said, I want to give you a down payment for a house. I went, oh, look at this is happening. Within 2 days, I went into the Los Angeles Times. There was no internet at that time. And there was this little ad, and it said, so much land and a little house in Camarillo. And so I was the first person to respond from the LA Times, first person to see it. We could afford it. And this is the house I'm still in today with Patrick and I. We both bought this house together. Obviously, we were married at the time. And the bathroom, this ugly bathroom, matched that picture in the bath. Had the same linen closet that was and it was hot pink ugly. I mean, I can't even tell you. And I looked around, but we had all the land we needed for because that was my most important thing. And we used to even let the goats roam around in here because it was just a wreck. This house was a wreck, and it's small. And we never really, well, we did add on some things, but I am just telling you, my faith at that time, knew I was going to get a house, knew I was going to get a land. The issue was I was sold on small and that hot pink bathroom. I'll never forget, with the most god-awful tile too. And so these spiritual tools that Science of Mind offer work when you are convinced. And the other part of that story also is I also, at that point in time, I wanted to be a producer and director in Hollywood. And I wanted to be producer director, right? And Patrick didn't want me to do that. He said, I'll never see you. And within 2 days, I was offered the job as on-camera producer director for a show. And it all worked out for the highest and best. I'm just telling you, but I was convinced that that is what I wanted to do, and it was handed to me. All of these things were just handed to me. And the more things that are handed to you in using these spiritual tools that Science of Mind offer builds that faith. Pretty soon, you know, and also you learn to not ask for $10. You ask for that unlimited supply that is open and available to you from source that just says yes. And I turn this back over to you.
You know, I am drawn to just speak a little bit about faith and the thought process. And this is a conversation that I've had now with a number of practitioner clients and that sort of thing. And it's from my experience too, because, and I want to share something also from Ernest Holmes. And he says this, he says that in order to have faith, we must have a conviction that all is well. In order to keep faith, we must allow nothing to enter our thought which will weaken this conviction. Faith is built up from belief, acceptance, and trust. Whenever anything enters our thought, which destroys in any degree one of these attitudes, to that extent, faith is weakened. And I have had the experience for me when I was seeking to change something in my life, seeking to have a new experience. My measure of success, having heard, all the positive stuff, and not only in Science of Mind with change your thinking, change your life, but other modalities and personal coaches and speakers and that sort of thing. And so I get what he's talking about here, but my personal experience and that of many people I have worked with at this stage is that they thought that meant, if I'm going to change my life, and now I'm going to get in shape, for instance, I'm going to be in better health, I'm going to work out every day, that I should never have a negative thought again, because it has then destroyed my faith and I've failed in some way. And I just want people to understand, if you're in that boat, or if that's been your experience, that's not the case. Certainly not my experience. It's not that a negative thought is never going to, come into my thought space again. And so my measure of success has changed. It's no longer, am I going to have an opposing thought, but am I going to allow that opposing thought to have me? Am I going to give it such power that it does destroy my faith? Or am I just going to see it like a blip on the radar and then it moves on, leaving me exactly where I was in faith already? This is a hugely important topic for me because it trips so many people up. And I know many people, myself included, who struggled with this idea for a long time. And it's simply, change your thinking, change your life is absolutely true. But I think the fine print is change your relationship to thought. Step into choice about what those thoughts that come into your thought space, where you really, do you give them power? Do you give, certainly the positive thoughts, I want to give power. I want to infuse those with emotion and feeling. And those other ones, they just happen. I give them nothing. And then they fade away out of my experience. And it's a miraculous process.
I agree, and I think that even science now I know science supports this, that you can change the grooves in your brain, so to speak. And I'm not going to say all the parts of the brain, but once you start, and an example would be, I love the exercise example that you gave. It's like getting in shape, and then you think, oh, but I have to do something. It's uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. Instead of saying, okay, it's uncomfortable, but the results will be, and I will be so much happier, coming from that conviction and following that word that you've given not only to the creator, but the creator that creates its creation by means of you, yourself. And so you're not disappointed in your own self. And the more those things happen, the more your brain says yes to the outcome and the process getting there, instead of flipping right back and feeling like you failed over and over and over again. We're human. One of the things that we're doing is building that spiritual muscle to recreate and reveal in our thinking patterns a whole new way of being that offers us so much more. I'm just going to say a couple things in my closing, and then I'm going to ask you to close also. And so one is from Martin Luther King Jr., and I think it fits here. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. And it's true, you just keep stepping out. Alfie kept stepping out in the water, knowing that he didn't know how to swim, but he knew this was going to work and it was going to be a great experience, and it was. And then there's one from Joel Osteen, and he says, I believe if you keep your faith, you keep trust, you keep the right attitude, if you're grateful, you'll see God open new doors. So it's all the steps of spiritual mind treatment too. Recognition of something greater than you are, unifying with that, knowing that there is a power for good in the universe, using you as you open up and let it use you, you use it, that you can affirm and stay in that positive attitude. And then you just give thanks, knowing it is done, and you release it. And when it pops back up, you say, thank you for sharing. The truth is I am doing that which I said I was doing, just popping right back. And I let you close.
Well, I'll just say this, that for me, much of this conversation around faith and just continuing to take action in that direction of what I want is I have stopped waiting on want to. The example we used of getting in shape, of working out, of if I wait to work out until I really want to, it may be a while. It may be a long while, but it is perfectly possible that I work out regardless of what my brain tells me when I wake up tomorrow morning. That I can do that no matter what. And I can do that knowing with faith what my outcome is going to be. And that very action then builds faith in a greater way. And so it's not that I'm going to wait until I have faith doesn't work. It's I'm going to act anyway. I'm going to take the action that seems to move me in the direction I want to go, believing all the while that I'm going there. And that level of faith, that level of participation in this process propels me beyond my wildest dreams sometimes.
I agree. And I could say so much more about this, but because of timing, I just thank you so much. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for inspiring me with your words, your actions, who you are, Kelly. You're just a wonderful example of walking faith as far as I'm concerned, and the manifestation of the good that you have, because I know a lot about you. Without going into details, you have accomplished so much in your life, and it's very impressive, honey. That's all I
Well, Reverend Pam, it's always a pleasure to be here. I love being a part of your life and your community. I love being here, and thanks for including me.
Oh, thank you. And well, I'll just move on. Alberto has to go work tonight. Alberto, welcome back, honey, for your closing song, and have a great experience tonight when you're working. Okay,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so the second song that I chose for today, it's another Irish song, but this one is from the 19th century. And it's essentially, it's a love story that went wrong. So it's a little sad, but it's a beautiful, beautiful song. And it's called The Mountains of Pomeroy.
Thank you, Alberto. Just beautiful. And this is new for me, the Celtic music with you. Usually the Italian. It's wonderful. Anything you do is wonderful, but thank you for that surprise.
Thank you, and I hope to be back with you guys.
You are. You're coming. We're not letting you go. We'll see you very, very soon, honey. Blessings galore.
Thank you very much.
And now it is time to introduce Daniel Nahmod, and it's a video that is just beautiful, and it's called Last Song for him.
If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal, it's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller because of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on? If I am out of time.
Now it is my honor to introduce for our closing affirmative prayer, Pamela Bailey, our lead practitioner. Pamela.
Thank you.
And practitioner of the day.
Yes, yes. So that says if we were in the center and you wish to have a treatment, you would get me, and you still can, because again, we are still a praying center. And if you're having any sort of challenge or opportunity or looking at making a change and not quite certain which path to take, we're here for you. All of us who have been in this service are practitioners, and we love to do that. So do not forget us when life is uncertain, as it is right now. So just in this day, looking at faith and just knowing that faith is that place, that certainty of knowing that all is well, even when we can't see it. So as I do this closing treatment, knowing that we, each and every one of us, are one with God, and that God is truly all there is, all the presence, all the power, all the intelligence, and all creation. And so I live within that, and I am one with all of it. And knowing that, that gives me the freedom to question, the freedom to look around, the freedom to choose, but also the freedom to know with certainty that all is well and all will be well. As our Reverend Betty Ann says, my life is unfolding perfectly, no matter what. And in that no matter what the external circumstances are, no matter what the thoughts I have are, I can always remember who I am and choose again and again and again, and keep choosing until I have that certainty, knowing that I'm on that right path, that this is the path that Spirit says yes to, that this is the path that my spirit is on. And I know that in that faith, in that certainty that all is well, that miracles show up, that beautiful things, friendships, love, associations, creativity, all of them spring from that. So I do rest in that faith. I rest in that faith. I know all is well. I know it's all unfolding perfectly. And so I release this treatment knowing all is well, and so it is. Thank you. I thought Reverend Pam was coming back.
Unmute. Hi. It's nice to, the good thing Spencer's going to be able to edit this. So anyway, it is so wonderful. Thank you, Pamela, so much. That was wonderful. And I would just like to remind you one more time that your donations are extremely appreciated. Your good comments or any comments are extremely appreciated. It is our honor to treat for you. Please send in your prayer requests, and we're on it right away. Our prayer team is going to be joined one person by Kelly Bershinsky. He's going to be on our practitioner prayer team really, really soon. I think he already is. And also go to our website, csl-pleasantvalley.org for how to donate. And now I'd just like to have everybody wave and say goodbye if they can, and just thank everyone. Alberto, I know, had to go to work. Thank you, Spencer behind the scenes. Thank you, Marcia behind the scenes. Buzzy, Kelly, Linny, Pamela. Thank you, Pamela, for your graciousness. And I love you all. See you next Sunday. Actually, I'll see you tomorrow for meditation. Mwah! Peace out, love out.